So hello everyone, I am TYBSC-IT. Welcome you all to this video. So, so today we are going to learn about what is an interface, why and when to use an interface, their property, actually interface, and some small topic like indexes and Enum. So let's start with the video. Then the first topic is what is an interface. To achieve the data hiding and extraction in C#, we use interfaces. And interface is completely abstract class. Abstract class means it acts as a base class which can use to inherit. It can contain only method and property with antibodies. Antibody. Then the interface can contain property, method, delegate, and event, but only for declaration and not for implementation. As shown in the below syntax, the interface is derived by the interface keyword, then the interface name, and in bracket we have to write the method, property, delegation event with antibody. Then the second topic is why and when to use an interface. So to achieve security, hide health and data, and show only the important data to the node. Only to show the important data of the object, we use interfaces. Then C# does not support multiple interfaces, but to achieve the multiple interfaces in C#, we can use implement keyword to use the interfaces. Then the node is to improve to implement multiple interfaces, which means more than one interfaces we have to implement. Then we can use comma separated inter- separating them with a comma. Thank you.
So today I am going to explain properties of interfaces. So coming to the first code, this code shown as iStudent interface. The first version correctly declares the method print without implementation. The second incorrect tries to implement print inside the interface, causing an error since interface can't have a method bodies in C#. In second code, this code defines an iStudent interface with a print method. The student class implement iStudent and provide a concrete print method which outputs interface print method when called. In third code, this interface iStudent declares the method print interface can't contain, so the student ID line is commented out to avoid an error.
Let us see with the fourth property. It says that if a class inherits from an interface, it must provide implementation for all the interface member, otherwise a compiler error occurs. Let us see with an example. Here we have an interface called iStudent with a method print. A class student inherits from this iStudent interface, which means it must implement print method. The student class, we define the print method to print interface print method. In the main method, we create the object of the student class and call the print method which outputs the message. Let us see with the second example. Here we start with the same iStudent interface, but now we add another interface, that is I2, which extends iStudent and includes an additional method, that is I2 method. The student class now implements the I2 interface, so it must provide implementations for both print method from iStudent and I2 method from I2. We define both method in the student class. The print method behaves as before, while the I2 prints a new message, that is I2 method have. The main method, we create the object and call both print method and I2 method which outputs both messages.
Let's go to the property number 5. A class can inherit more than one interface at the same time, whereas a class cannot inherit more than one class. It means a class can implement multiple interfaces because they can only define method signatures, not the implementation details. Let's go to the code. We have declared a method interface named iStudent and I2. Next, we have defined a class named student that implements both the iStudents and I2 interface. This means the student must provide implementation for all the declared in both the interfaces. Next, we have implementation of I2 method from the I2 interface. Next, we have created a main method named program in which we have created object named I2 for instance of a student class. Next, we have called the method s1.print which prints the message to the console. Next, we have called the method s1.I2 method which calls the method I2 method from the I2 interface. This line is intended to call the I2 method from the I2 interface. If the I2 method is implemented in the student class,
The next property of interface states that the interface that inherits other interface, but a class that inherits this interface must provide implementation to all the interface members in the entire interface inheritance chain. Here is an example of the C# code. Now we are going to execute the C# code in the online C# compiler. In this code we have interface iStudents which has the method void print, and then we have the interface I2 which has the method I2 method, and then we have the class students that provide implementation for both the methods of the interfaces. And then in class program we have created the object of the class students, and then we have called the both the methods. Now running the code we get the output as the interface print method and the I2 method. Thank you.
Let's see seventh property. Seventh property says that we cannot read an instance of an interface, but an interface reference variable can point to a derived class object. That means you cannot create an instance of an interface because it does not have any implementation. However, an interface reference variable can point to an object of a class that implements the interface, allowing the reference to use the class implemented method. The code defines an interface iStudent with the method print. The student class implements this interface and provides the print method's implementation. In the main method, iStudent s1 is equal to new iStudent causes an error because you cannot instantiate an interface. The correct line iStudent s2 is equal to new student creates a student object referenced by the interface calling s2.print prints interface print method to the console.
Hello, I am Nitesh. So today we are going to learn about explicit interface in C Sharp. So before I start with the main concept, let's try to understand why there is a need of explicit interface. So here you can see we have two interfaces as I1 and I2. Now the name of print method for both the interfaces is same. Now the problem here is the class which is implementing both of these interfaces should provide the implementation of print method, right? So how do we do that? We just have to write I1.print method. It will refer to the print method of interface 1, and similarly for I2. Now let's see how do we create the object of class student referring to the specific interface. Now here you can see I1 is the object of class student and it is referring to the interface 1. Now when we call the I1.print method, it will refer to the print method of interface 1, right? Now we have another way we can create the object like we usually do. We create the object of class student as s1. Now when we are calling the print method, we have to also cast it with the name of interface. Like for s1.print method, if we pass I1, it will refer to the print method of interface 1, and similarly for I2. Now let's run both of this code snippet. Let's uncomment and see. So here first I1.print method is called. So the implementation is we are printing I1.print method. So here you can see I1.print method, and similarly for I2.print method, and same goes here also. So that's all about explicit interface. Thank you all.
So now we are going to explain you indexes in C Sharp. Indexation in C Sharp, it helps accessing our data, like it helps accessing our classes, and it also allows instance of a class to be indexed like arrays. It enables accessing elements using an index, as well as for an syntax error we can see public type this parameter get set and go. Example, public string this int index get set go. Apart from this, I'm also going to explain you uses and benefits of indexes in C Sharp. The first is it simplifies data accesses and manipulation. It enables array-like behavior for custom classes. It is useful for collection matrices and other data structures, like it is useful for Max as well. It improves code readability and maintainability, like it is good for saving codes. And for example, var value is equals to my class 5.
Hello, my name is Prasad. Today I am going to explain about indexes in C Sharp. Using system means the directly allow you to use classes and method from the system namespace such as console. Next part is class IC. It is a class definition. Class IC is a class that contain a private array and an indexer. Private array. This declare and initialize a private array with the three strings. Indexer, public string, this in int index, and indexer allow you to access the elements of array while using the syntax in index where I is an instance of IC, and the get and set method allows you to retrieve and assign value to the array based on the indexer. And the last part is the class program, public stat void main. Class program contains the main method, which is the entry point of the application. Inside main, an instance of IC is created and used to print out the value of the array through the indexer, and the output is object array. First value is C, second value is C sharp, and the third value is second value C plus plus, and the third value is C sharp. Thank you.
So today I am going to explain the enumeration in C Sharp. Coming to the first point, what is enum? C Sharp enumeration refers to the concept of defining a set of named constants which is encapsulated using the enum. An enumeration or enum is a value type that allows you to create a group of related constants that represent integer values, and after that it provides a improving code clarity and reducing errors into. First we have seen that what is enum. After that we are going to see the code of enumeration in C Sharp. That is, this defines an enumeration name directions. By default, the underlining type of an enum is int and the values start at 0. So, the north is 0, east is 1, west is 2. After that, south is 3. And D is variable of type directions. It assigned the value of directions west which corresponds to the integer value 2. Right line D prints the name of enum value which will be west. After that we have to see the main method. Direction D equal to direction west. Assign the value west which has an underlying integer value of 2. The variable D. Direction 3 casts the integer 3 to the direction enum type. Console right line D2 points south to the console.
Hello, I am Atif from FIT. I got get the theory behind interfaces, and I think the concept of interfaces is pretty clear now. I understood how they help to create a structure in the code. For example, when should we use an interface?
I am Rohit from FIT. The way you enumeration and indexes were explained, they sounded very simple and clear. I really appreciate the effort you guys have made. Thank you.